What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today, if you're listening to the first part of this video, we are going to tell the truth. We're going to tell the truth about a lot of YouTubers that are going around taking the truth and saying that it's not the truth. And saying, well, it's just YouTubers, and making it seem like YouTubers are making up information to say that their information is credible. Well, a lot of these YouTubers don't really know the fandom like you think they do. They don't really understand anything except what they want to tell you, which is misinformation to the point where if you watch the video, they spend 3 minutes talking about YouTubers, but the YouTubers are getting information from the internet from credible sources. So, I mean, you pull up a slide. I mean, there's an AI. If you got the little AI thing that they were putting out before, Google, it has like a prototype. And I guess stupid me, I click the button and I get this little AI thing that comes with, the Google search bar. Well, you type it in on your computer and it goes, yeah, well, as of late 2023, this is now 2 years ago almost, Hasbro is no longer actively financing or producing its own movies based on its toy properties, choosing to focus on video game development instead, while other studios can make films. Now, we always look at words like can, could, possibility. Could, using Hasbro IPs, but Hasbro will not be co-financing them, citing recent box office disappointments with movies like Transformers 1 and the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves as a reason of the shift in strategy. Now, let's think about the strategy here for a second before we get to the key points. If the company that holds the IP, and I want you to think about this. I want you to use common sense. You can thumb down the video if you want. You can use words like you're this and that. And I don't care what you use today because I just got to tell people the truth. Name a studio that is going to say, hey, I'm going to make another Transformers movie when the last 3 movies flopped. Yes, even Bumblebee movie made box office, but it wasn't as large of a box office as the ones under Bayverse, unfortunately. Probably why the shift when they try to do a little something more active in Rise of the Beast. And of course that failed because the movie went over budget and did not perform to box office. And then of course you saw what happened with Transformers 1, which that in itself would have been a cheap, profitable movie because it didn't require a whole lot of overhead, meaning it's animated. So most of the people, even though they're probably still being paid a lot of money, but not as much as they probably would get paid if it was a live action movie. And, it's because of the animation, it's basically a cheap movie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it makes money because once it's out there, but it just didn't do that. So going in that, well, Hasbro's like, oh, we can't do this anymore. Not when a company is damn near $4 billion in debt. Who's going to take the risk of making another Transformers movie? Well, they could do a Transformers 2. Yeah, it could probably go to Netflix. But if it's going to go to Netflix or something like that, the quality of the movie is not going to be as good as the first one, and you're going to say, well, now you sound like a person that doesn't make any sense anymore. Let's be realistic. If the company says, I don't want to make movies anymore, you can make them if you want to, but we're not making them anymore, which means that a major studio has to step up, put all the money up. That's the money they have to put up for, everything like paying the actors, the director, for all the movie sets, all of the props, all of the extra workers, all of the, everything the company has to pay for that. The studio has to pay for that. Please tell me what studio is going to do that. First thing they're going to say is, why did the company that makes the toys pull out? They're going to go, there's going to be like, oh my goodness, man, this is why you got to have adults in the room sometimes. People that have been in business sometimes to explain to you what is going to happen with the executive when they have to go to the investors to get the money. Some of these investors are like, well, I'm not going to say anything else because some of y'all don't understand how this works. How financing works is not what you think it is. It's not on the up and up. So you got to convince the sector like this is really going to work. And, they're not going to. No studio is going to finance the movie. They're not. If the toy company is stepped out of it, they're going to look at it like, Transformers is big only because of the rise of the movies that have been coming out, but the declination of Hollywood itself is faster than a lot of these properties can keep up. Star Wars ain't putting nothing in the seats or even on these streaming platforms lately. You know what I'm saying? Star Trek, my favorite franchise. They're hey, you're lucky if you see stuff like that. And it's a lot of everything's declining. You could throw up a property and say, oh yeah, people would go see it. That's what they do with Transformers, yo. So you're looking at it from a hardcore fan standpoint. When they make these movies, they put these movies up there, they're not thinking about you or me. They're thinking about the people that don't know what Transformers are and don't watch Transformers. Only thing that they heard was Transformers because they heard it in the background of a news video while they're cooking or on the phone talking to their friends. And they hear a lot of people talking about it, just like Marvel did, just like DC does, just like Disney does. And all of them are on decline. You're saying that as big as the Marvel properties are and people are not going to see the movies where they had to literally revamp and bring back Robert Downey Jr., that Transformers is going to stay forever? No. It's not like Transformers is just going to fall off the face of the planet, but there are a lot of key factors involved in that, and you have to look at the company, and Hasbro's not doing it. That means Hasbro is out of it. They're saying, no, we're not going to make movies. They're not going to make movies. That's that's the thing. That's on the internet. There's nothing on the internet that says Hasbro is making movies, that there's a single studio that's going to step up. And you look at the studios in this slide alone, none of them have made a report saying, oh, we're going to go ahead and make another Transformers movie. I can guarantee you Paramount's not going to put all their money up to make another movie when the first one they put up with only having to use a third of their money flopped. That would be suicide. That would be giving Hasbro some money and helping them maybe to recoup a small amount of costs out of that giant hole of a debt that they have. You're not giving people the truth, and you're not doing your research. You're trying to twist information to make your information credible when your information had no credibility to begin with. You didn't go and look at anything. You blamed YouTubers for reporting what the internet said. People, if you think this person is worthy to take your attention off and you don't listen to what they're saying, and meanwhile telling me I'm not saying a damn thing when I've been saying this all along, then you got a problem. And if you don't like my channel, you can unsubscribe, you can put the thumbs down. But I refuse to let people get on the internet and repeatedly give the same false information and just say it's YouTubers and glance over it or try to attack a YouTuber without any credibility. I will never say and step out of my realm until you come with false information. And that's all false. And it's all cap. They're not going to be making movies. Comment if you like. Super Robot Ed, bring more news reviews to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.